Hey, Detroit Lions fans. Is Hendon Hooker really on his way out, or is this just speculation? Last month, ESPN's Bill Barnwell sparked controversy by suggesting that the Lions could cut Hooker this offseason. For many, that doesn't make sense, but the analysts' arguments revolve around two factors: the quarterback's lack of experience and his age. Hooker, a third-round pick in the 2023 draft, attempted just 9 passes last season and was demoted to third-string QB in the playoffs, right after Teddy Bridgewater's arrival. And here's the point that raised doubts. Bridgewater was practically retired, working as a high school coach in Florida, yet he still beat out Hooker for the backup role behind Jared Goff. This led Barnwell to claim that the 27-year-old quarterback isn't experienced enough to be a reliable backup, nor young enough to be considered the future of the franchise. But hold on, Lions fans. A new report from John Macaron of Sports Illustrated says otherwise. According to sources close to the team, the Lions still value Hooker and his role on the roster. Additionally, new offensive coordinator John Morton is reportedly interested in the quarterback's potential, reinforcing the idea that Hooker can continue his development in Detroit. So, what do you think? Should the Lions keep Hooker and develop him as an important piece for the future, or is it time to move in a different direction? Leave your comment and don't forget, if you enjoyed this analysis, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any Lions updates. Now, if we take a closer look at the situation, it's clear that the Lions' decision on Hooker isn't as simple as it seems. Jared Goff just signed a contract extension, securing his position as the team's QB1. That alone significantly reduces Hooker's chances of becoming a starter in the coming years. On the other hand, having a reliable backup quarterback has always been a priority for teams aiming for a deep playoff run in the NFL. After all, injuries happen, and a prepared substitute can be the difference between success and failure in a season. But is Hooker that ideal backup, or should the Lions look for another option? What works against Hooker is his lack of NFL experience. He spent most of last season as a developmental project, without a real opportunity to showcase his value on the field. And when the need for an immediate backup for Goff arose, the Lions turned to Bridgewater. That move raises questions about how much the coaching staff truly trusts Hooker's potential to step in if needed. On the flip side, John Morton, the new offensive coordinator, might see things differently. With a change in offensive leadership, Hooker could get more opportunities. If he manages to impress in training camp and preseason games, the narrative might completely change. It wouldn't be the first time a quarterback that was written off surprised everyone and secured his place. The big question now is, should the Lions continue investing in Hooker, or would it be better to find a more experienced backup in the market? The answer may lie in the franchise's long-term strategy. If Detroit believes Hooker still has room to grow and become a solid backup for Goff, it's worth keeping him and investing in his development. But if the team has doubts about his future, it wouldn't be surprising to see him involved in a trade before the season starts. And you Lions fans, what do you think? Should Hooker stay, or should the team find a new backup quarterback? Leave your comment. And of course, if you like this analysis and want to stay updated on everything happening with the Lions, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Here at Lions News Fan Report, you won't miss a single detail about your team. To be honest, the idea of cutting Hendon Hooker right now doesn't make much sense to me. I know he hasn't had many opportunities, and the team brought in Teddy Bridgewater late last season, which might indicate that the coaching staff doesn't fully trust him as the immediate backup yet. But does that mean Hooker has no future in Detroit? I don't think so. Looking at the bigger picture, Hooker lost almost an entire year recovering from his knee injury, and the plan was always for him to develop at a slower pace. He was never expected to take on an immediate role, especially with Jared Goff signing an extension and cementing himself as the team's QB1. So the real question we should be discussing isn't whether Hooker should be cut, but whether he can still develop into a reliable backup for the future. Bill Barnwell's argument that Hooker is too old to be the future seems exaggerated to me. At 27, he still has a few years to grow, and honestly, quarterbacks take time to develop in the NFL. If the Lions truly believe in his talent, it's worth giving him more time before making any rush decisions. Additionally, according to John Macaron of SI.com, new offensive coordinator John Morton is interested in the quarterbacks already on the roster. That means the franchise still sees value in Hooker, which is a good sign. In my opinion, the best decision right now is to give him more reps in preseason, see how he performs in games, and evaluate his progress within the Lions' offensive system. Now, if during that process the coaching staff realizes he hasn't developed as expected, then it makes sense to consider a trade or look for another option in the market. But cutting him without even giving him a real shot? That would be a mistake. And you Lions fans, what do you think about this situation? Does Hooker deserve another chance, or should the Lions already be looking for a new backup for Goff? Leave your comment. Oh, and of course, if you enjoyed this analysis and want to stay updated on all things Detroit Lions, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Here at Lions News Fan Report, we bring you everything about our team the way the fans love.